Hello everyone and welcome to VSF Christmas episode 4. My name is Jay Whitefield. Now, one of the biggest parts about Christmas preparations for a lot of people is buying, writing and sending Christmas cards. Some people, they like to just kind of go out and get a pack of cards from the local shop and they'll just kind of send cards to friends and family. You know, for some people, it's a good time to connect with people that they might not otherwise contact the rest of the year. You know, for some people, some people will view the status of a relationship with any other given person on whether did they send us a Christmas card last year. For me, however, nowadays it's something that I always seem to forget. It's, I don't know what it is, but I've just never been that good with cards. Now, like I said, some people like to just buy them from the shop. Some people like to hand make them. However, when I've done cards in the past, you know, for birthday or Christmas for close family and friends, I've often liked to actually create them on the computer. And this is exactly what we're going to do today. Now, by the time I actually had access to my own computer and, you know, basically was given carte blanche to do pretty much whatever I wanted, Microsoft Picture It Photo had been around for quite some time. And to be honest, I actually used to use that because it was just that good. I actually used Picture It Photo 2002. Not today, though. Today, we're going to use one of my favourite packages from the past. This is, of course, Microsoft Publisher. Microsoft Publisher was something that I used to enjoy using in school a lot. And probably was my favourite thing to do with computers at that time. Or certainly one of my favourite things to do with computers. And yes, I did make the odd Christmas card or birthday card in Publisher, which I then gave to people because, you know, it was fun. So let's get started. And just in case anyone is wondering, the machine that we're doing this on today, the machine that we're working with, the Toshiba T2130CT. This machine is good for a number of reasons, including the fact that it's got an active matrix display, which you can see despite the fact that the sun is trying to come out. Then again, the sun's not shining directly in the window, so we'll see how well that goes. This has a 486 DX4 75MHz processor, and it has a whopping 32 megs of RAM, and I believe the half gigabyte hard disk, the 520 megabyte drive, 540 rather, that you could often get in these machines. Anyway, let's see what no good tricks we can get up to on here. So we're going to use a Page Wizard assistant. Oh, and just as a wee caveat, no, I cannot see what's happening on the screen. So I'm looking for greeting cards. So greeting cards and invitations. Excellent. Okay, Page Wizard, blah, blah, blah. It says something. I can't read it. If you want to read it, pause the video. You can choose how you want your card to fold. You know, it depends on whether you want to do, you know, a 4-way fold or a 2-way fold. 4-way is easier if you're not au fait with printing, duplex printing. That's printing on both sides of the paper. 2-way is always going to be the better one. So you can also choose the orientation. So you can have a, you can have a side fold or a top fold. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't seem to have a printer that likes doing that. To be honest, I don't have a printer connected to this machine, as you can probably tell. What I am using is the Adobe PDF Writer. And that's what we'll use to print this all off when we're done. Okay, so what I can do is I can make different card styles. So I've got formal, modern, fashion, I believe that is, and floral. So I guess I could go for something like this. Now the good thing with publishers, you can change these designs yourself. You're not restricted. Obviously, you know, the idea of the page wizard actually is, you know, it's supposed to kind of help guide you, you know, if it's a first time you're doing something, and you can actually slow it down to see how publisher creates the publication. So you could actually do it yourself. This is just kind of setting up a template. The rest is up to you, what you want to do with it. You can keep it the same or not. You know, that's what I like about this. Which border would I like? Again, there's more borders to choose from. In order to get this positioned in front of the machine, I have to have it too far away for me to read. So, let's introduce Mr. Monocular. So I can look at Mr. Mooper. Far enough back that I still can't blimmin' see it. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to. Obviously, I know I should have used. I know I should be doing this probably in a virtual machine using Camtasia to record it, so I can actually have a better chance of seeing it. But or I mean, the alternative would be to have the laptop angled, but yeah. Oh well. Here's the magnifier for Windows 3.1, everyone. Yeah. So we're going to use that. So for border types, I can have stars, northwest, people, firecrackers, or non-thanks. I kind of like that. Non-thanks. Oh, none for me. Oh, I couldn't eat another bite. Oh, that was a fine Scotch pudding there, Mrs. Motherfucker. So I think I'll go for northwest just for now. So do I want to, and where do you want your greeting? Near the bottom or the center? I would say, and you can actually see how it's going to look. And I would definitely have to say, not just because the picture looks skew-off, but, well, because it's kind of, this is how greeting cards roll. Greeting should be near the bottom. You can actually select whether you want a picture, you want a big picture, a wee picture, or not this time. Nice. So, yeah, even the small one's not too offensive, actually. It's not too small. So let's have a small one, actually. I think it'll look quite gracious. Okay, now I'm guessing this is where you put your greeting. Have a very Merry Christmas. Would I like text on the inside? Yep. So I could either have... I could have it as a fill out our invitation, or, you know, if you wanted to make an invitation to RSVP. Or I could just have it centered. That's what I'm going to go for. How about a picture on the inside page? Yes, please. No thanks. No thanks. I love the way that it speaks really informally. Lastly, if you'd like your name, or something, sorry, I'm just gonna invoke the magnifier again. Yep. Command Option 8, and there we go. And I know this is probably gonna look all skew off to you guys, but from where I'm sitting. Lastly, if you'd like your name or a short saying on the back, type it here. So, what I usually do with these things, especially nowadays, if I'm sending stuff over the border, I'll put greetings for Scotland. And now I'm going to create it. Now I can have it do this fast so it does it instantly, or slow so you can actually see what's happening. In fact, you can see there what Microsoft Publisher is doing. Like I said, this makes it so that, you know, if you wanted to do it yourself next time, you could. I think for my next video I'm going to use the big tripod so that I can actually have the machine closer to me. Okay, now it's done. And there's cue cards if I want them. But I've decided that I don't. Okay, so one feature that I think you can imagine that I've used is the F9 to zoom. Have a very Merry Christmas. You know, I can use different fonts. I can use Impact. I can use the meme font on my Christmas card. How's that? You can, you know, you could do it. You could do it in a lolcat kind of way. You can has Merry Christmas. Ah, jings. I think a lot of people would be like, ugh. Enough with the lolcat! The lolcat is very old now. It's about 10 years old. Let it die! So I kind of like this font. It looks really quite festive. And obviously because it's word art. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. And I can change the colour. So I can have nice red. I can even do a drop shadow if I wanted to. That kind of looks like there's an outline around this. So yeah, I'm guessing. Aye, there is. So if I wanted to, I could do a nice green outline. Obviously, on a low resolution printer, you're gonna have a bit of a job on. So, but I'll make this green anyway. Look at that, it looks all Yule-tidy. Right, and then with the border, couple of choices. I've got snowflakes or trees, and I think I'm going to go for trees. Okay, so now I can F9 out, see how that looks. Looks alright. Let's now have a look, see if we can find anything in the clip art gallery pertaining to Christmas. Not really much. What about Xmas? That looks like a Christmas tree version of the Conservative and Unionist Party logo. No thank you. Oh, the older one now, they've got the blimmin' Union Jack, Union flag. Anyway, have Santa. We could have presents. You know, so there's all kind of way to go. And apparently there's no snowman. Snowman. I thought there was in Publisher 2. Let's go with Santa. There we go. Actually looks pretty good. In a manner of speaking. This is the second page, so the inside left. Don't want anything there. Replace text with my greeting. And a Happy New Year. And then again, you know, I could choose to have a border. So there you have it. So now let's see if we can, oh dear, let's see if we can set ourselves up a printer. Right, okay, so it's the very festive activity of going into control panel. Great. And we'll oh dear, do try and pay attention, G. Acrobat PDF Writer. PDF Writer. Okay, so that's now been set. So now let's try printing again. So that's absolutely fine. Now, as always, PDF Writer, you know, the way that it works, just kind of save a file. So what I'm going to do here is I will save it to my documents folder. Okay, just for sake of ease of use, I'm going to save it to the backup folder I created for my Windows XP, Windows ME dual boot video. So what I'm going to call it is Xmas card. We'll save this. And now let's go into Adobe Reader, see if it, Adobe Acrobat, see if it's actually done what it was supposed to do. So this has printed. Now I know the inside bit looks like it's upside down, And that's because this is a four-way card, so you have to fold it once and then fold it again. That's not such a bad thing. Like I said, it does mean that it all gets printed on the one side of the paper, and it also means that it also actually, if you're printing it on regular paper, the fact that it is kind of folded and folded again kind of makes it quite thick. It kind of means it can stand up of its own accord. Now, when I come to actually make my cards this year, I've decided that I'm actually going to make them. You know, go back to tradition. I've got the cards, the A4 card that I'm going to use. I'm going to print onto that. I am actually going to use it on card, but for this, we're just going to print it off on paper. And that actually brings me to printing, because of course it's all very well and good me showing this in Adobe Acrobat saying, oh yeah, this is what it looks like when you print it off, but I'm sure you didn't come here to see me produce a very bad e-card. What you actually came here to see me do is to produce a very bad paper card. So, let's move over to my main machine and print it off. And of course, this is one of the neat things about actually having a network, is that you know, I can save something in an old machine and access it straight away on here. Now, let's see if we can actually print this. The paper feeder on my printer seems to not be too happy at the moment, but let's see if we can wind her up and let her go. Come on, printer! I know you can do it. Yes, I know it's an HP PhotoSmart, and I know some of you may not like HP printers. I know some of you don't like inkjet printers, and I completely see where you're coming from. However, I got this printer for free on FreeCycle, so I is not complaining. So, there we go. Greetings for Scotland. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So, the way we're gonna play this is I need to fold it up. I've never been any good at folding things properly, so they're not all kind of cockeyed, skew-F, that kind of stuff. But you know, there is a first time for everything, so let's well, I suppose I could give it the old college try. So what you do, you'll fold it horizontally first. Right, okay, that's about the best I could hope for. Look at this. And then what I do then is I take the vertical side and try and make that as tidy as I can as well. And as you can see, I have failed spectacularly. But there you go. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So, I'd best actually address this card to someone. Who am I going to address it to? Well, why don't we open the cards and find out? To all my viewers and subscribers, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from Jay. Does it stand up? In a manner of speaking, yes it does. So, there you have it. Nice Christmas card made up in Microsoft Publisher on the Toshiba T2130CT and printed off on my main machine. And I think that will conclude this video. Hope you've all enjoyed watching. If you have, please feel free to subscribe if you're not already. Like videos on Frontier on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. But for the meantime, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you'll all join me for the next episode of VSF Christmas. Cheery bye.